morning, my beautiful creatives. Welcome to day 7 of 30 Days with Chrissie B. Today, I thought I would share with you how I go about planning my week. I have been getting a lot of stuff done lately, and I get this question quite often. How am I able to keep everything organized? How am I able to get as much stuff done as I do get done? So I thought I would share my weekly planning process with you. My planning process basically consists of 2 different things. One is something called the Panda Planner. I use this every single day. The Panda Planner is just the planner that I've chosen. I don't think it matters what planner you use, but there's something that happens when you write down your goals for the month, the week, the day, every single day. Now I'm a big proponent of using your cell phone and your Mac and all of your electronic tools for like keeping track of your calendar and your contact list. I'm all for that, and I do that quite often. However, for my actual goals, breaking things down, like deciding what it is that I want, breaking things down, scheduling it out so that they're actually like achievable tasks that I can do and then eventually achieve, I find that there's something magical that happens when you actually take a pen and write it down. I do this planning every single Saturday night. And the first thing I do is I will go to my monthly calendar. And this is basically a calendar that tells me all of the different activities that I have scheduled for the month. I keep a copy of this in my electronic calendar so that I have it on all of my devices so I don't have to remember this off the top of my head. But the one that I actually handwrite on, I just keep high level information on. Like, I'm having lunch with Brittany today, or I'm going to Silver Creek Falls to go for a hike, or Alex is up. All of like the specific details, like what times, where we're meeting, all of that kind of stuff, I keep that in my electronic calendar. I also keep in my monthly calendar what is my monthly focus. For this month, for the month of November 2016, my monthly focus is being creative every single day. I also try to keep track of at least one habit every single day that I'm working on. Right now for November, as you know, my habit for this month is I want to do 1 YouTube video for every day of November. So in my Panda Planner, there's a place where you can write down your habit, and I wrote YouTube video, and then every day there's a little H with a box around it that gives you the ability to like check that off, which means every time that H is checked off, that means I did a YouTube video for that day. So that's what that means. I could also add additional habits. I can add other things. I have countdowns on here. For example, you probably know this, we're moving to Portland. That move happens December 1st. However, my sister from Arizona is going to be up for 9 days right in the middle of November. I did a countdown to figure out how many number of days I had left to actually pack, excluding the time that my sister was here. And the reason I did that was so that I could actually plan what needed to be packed by when, so that I could take that entire 9 days and play the whole 9 days that she's here without having to worry about maybe I'm falling behind, or maybe I'm not getting something done I need to get done. I will know that I will be ready for the move December 1st without having to worry about doing any of that packing while she's here. On my monthly calendar, I also keep track of my top 3 goals. Whatever my top 3 things I should be focusing on, those are written down in my month's goals. And then there's 3 distractions to avoid. I have things that distract me all the time, and if I write them down and I'm just aware that, I need to make sure that I'm not watching too much television, or I need to be aware that I'm not procrastinating in my day, that I do the hard things first. I don't put them off until later, because later never happens, and then the task never gets done until the next day I'm writing the task to do again and again and again until I finally just get it done. So I try to avoid procrastination. So that's what I put in that section. Now the monthly calendar, I do once at the end of every month. So I prepare the next month already. The only thing I do on the Sunday night is I basically just look to see what is my focus, what are my habits that I'm trying to do, what are this month's goals, and what distractions am I avoiding? Am I doing well on those? Am I needing to change something I'm doing? Do I need to change my focus a little bit? And what events are coming up this next week? My calendar week is from Monday to Sunday. Some people like it from Sunday to Saturday. That's totally up to you. You can even do Wednesday to Tuesday. That's fine. It doesn't really matter as long as you have some kind of a schedule in your head. So I look to see what events I have coming up this week so that I can actually get them scheduled on my weekly calendar. So next I have a weekly calendar, and the weekly calendar is basically a review of last week. What did I do well last week? What needs improving this week. And then there's 4 categories. Things I will do to make this week great. This pertains to personal things, work things, family, friend things, and relationship things. Just for example, this week's personal goal is I want to make quality sleep a priority. My work, I want to focus on putting quality content out in my YouTube videos. And then family and friends, for me, this usually is about reaching out. This is about calling people that I need to call, or making dates to go have lunch with somebody, or maybe just taking time to get out of the house and go see someone. The other thing, and probably the most important thing in my life, is I call the relationships box. I save that box completely and 100% for Jason. This relationship box for me is about being gentle with Jason and understanding that Jason needs rest too, even though we have so much work to do. Then it gives you a couple of prompts, like 3 things that you're looking forward to. Well, I'm looking forward to the move to Portland. I'm looking forward to my lunch with my girlfriend on Wednesday. And I'm also looking forward to my sister's visit in 10 days. Habits I'm focusing on developing this week. I'm living whole, hydrated, and fit. So I'm eating whole foods, I'm hydrated, and I'm actively working on becoming fit. And then my second thing I'm focusing on developing is being creative every single day. Part of that is getting up and getting dressed and putting my makeup on and doing my hair and just being ready to do whatever I need to do this week. That's why I keep the planning going. The planning was something that really saved me in my job, because my job was very complicated and had a lot of steps and a lot of tasks. And it was just a way for me to keep things very organized, because nobody else kept anything organized for me. It was totally my job. This is a habit that I am bringing over to my personal life, because my personal life is just as important, if not more important, than my work life ever was. So the next section is, what is something new I want to learn this week? And the thing that I really want to learn how to do is, it's a YouTube feature. I don't know how to do it. If you've watched enough YouTube videos, you'll see YouTube videos are going and someone will have like a subscribe button pop up on their screen, on their video screen. And you're able to click on that link and it takes you to the subscribe. You can actually subscribe via that little button. Or you can have one that has a link to your website, or a link to your Facebook page, or a link to your Instagram feed, whatever. I want to learn how to do that. That's my I want to learn how to do. It's a rush to be able to say I learned something new. That is why I love that little box. It's one of my favorites. The last box on the left-hand side of my weekly planner is the passion project. It's basically, I use that passion project as what is something that I really need to keep listening to. What message am I needing to listen to? What thing is my soul telling me that I really need to be paying attention to and taking action on? And for this week, it's keep following your gut. Put out content that makes you proud. Don't put out crap. Don't put out stuff just for the sake of putting out stuff. Don't put out stuff just because it's popular or what everybody else wants. Put things out there that really makes you joyful, and that you can look back and say, I'm really glad I did that video. I'm really glad that that was something I put out. I'm really glad that I did that. I'm really glad I did that. And then on the right hand side, you have 4 areas for major projects that you're working on. And then what I do for each of those is I put the topic of what the project is. I put daily YouTube videos as my number 1. Number 2 is healthy, fit, balanced, and whole. It's number 2. Number 3, daily, honest, heartfelt blog posts. Number 4, get as much purged and packed as you can so you can play when Alex gets here. And then what I do is I will put little check boxes underneath those projects of like individual tasks that I need to do to make these projects come to reality. So for example, like the daily YouTube video, maybe I would list the 7 YouTube topics that I had in mind for this week and then check them off as I did them. And under healthy, fit, balanced, and whole, maybe I would put a checkbox for all of the days that I got all of my water in for that day, or maybe a checkbox where I took all of my daily supplements, or a checkbox for every day that I drank my green smoothie every single day, or a checkbox for every day that I actually exercise. That's what I would do for each of those sections. I would write the main project that I'm working on and then basically task to chunk it down into very easy to manage bite-sized pieces so that I'm not focusing on this overwhelming, huge, massive project. I'm looking at making sure I'm drinking 9 glasses of water every day, or I'm getting all of my daily supplements that I'm supposed to take every day, or I'm getting my green smoothie in, so I'm getting all of my vegetables in. That's what this piece is for. So then the last section of my weekly planner is top goals for this week. Basically, this is a place where I can pick my top 5 things that I want to get done. If I don't do everything in my weekly thing, these are the top 5 things I want to get done. Then what I do, now this seems like a lot, but it really isn't. Once you're doing it, every week, every month, week, day. It just ends up being something that's super easy, super natural, and you don't have to do it all at once because you've been filling in little details all along. So then I go to my daily. You write every morning, you write 3 things you're grateful for, 3 things you're excited about, a daily affirmation. Now those things, you may have heard me talk about this in my October favorites video, but we do the 5-minute journal. We do those there, and that is the process that we do every morning together. Then we take those things and we just kind of transfer them forward to the Panda Planner so that we can just carry it with us throughout the day. And the 5-minute planner stays home. Well then, the Panda Planner then goes on to say, what's your focus for today? What exercise you're gonna do today? What are your top 5 priorities for today? And again, I use that the same way I do the weekly projects, where I have the project listed and then I have like a bulleted list of things that need to happen to make that project, that priority get completed for the day. There's also a place where you can keep your schedule. This schedule I do use, and it's basically, I just keep track of, like, I tell myself, okay self, if you were working for yourself today, what would your work schedule look like? So I have things like my AM routine is in there. I have office time where I'm answering emails and doing all of my YouTube responses and Instagram and Facebook and all those kinds of things. I have that scheduled in my day. I have a block of time where I'm just doing video work. I'm doing the recording and the editing and all of that stuff that it takes to get to actually publish a YouTube video. That's the time that I do that. I also have a time scheduled for my chores. I try to get house chores done. Like right now I have 3 jobs. My first job is my YouTube videos. I try to get those done. I try to get those to be quality. I try to get those something that I'm proud of. The other thing I do, my other job, is I have a house to maintain. I've got food to cook, chores to take care of, laundry, dishes. All of that stuff is not going to take care of itself, so that's one of my jobs. Now my husband does help with all of that, but because he works so much and because of his long commute, I try to do as much of that as I can without him having to do it, because he is just so busy. The third job that I have is packing us up for our move. Now the way that Jason and I work when we're moving is I do all of the packing, he does all of the moving. And then when we get to the new place, it'll be my job to put everything away. I really like it that way, he really likes it that way, it really works for us, so that's how we roll. So I have packing boxes scheduled into my day. I also have scheduled in my day what I make for dinner that night. I do put that in my calendar so I can try to have some kind of a plan what dinner will be for this evening. It's scheduled, it's out, it's done, it's on my calendar. I don't have to guess. And that also helps me when I'm like planning my grocery list for the week, is knowing what we're eating. And then I also schedule in my exercise time, because if I don't schedule it, it will never happen. And then I even schedule time for my bedtime routine, because if I don't get my bedtime routine done, I will not meet my 10 o'clock deadline if we're going to bed and having lights out. So that's the kind of things I schedule. Then if all of that, all of the breaking down of my priorities is not enough, like if I don't have all my priorities, all of my tasks listed out, I list my extra tasks in the extra area, like just little things, like maybe I need to fill my pill box up, or maybe I need to transfer money to an account, or maybe I need to schedule bills, or something like that. I will add those miscellaneous tasks into this little section here. And then in the notes section, I try to keep track of my daily pills. I have supplements that I have to take at 4 different times of the day. They're all doctor prescribed. They're all things I'm working with medical team. So they're all things that are scheduled to be taken, and I have to take them 4 different times a day. So I have 4 little check boxes that I just check them all off as I take my pills throughout the day. And then I have a place for water where I can actually keep little tally marks of how many glasses of water I've had during the day. Now, if that weren't enough, there's a section down at the end of your Panda Planner that gives you the ability, it's an end of day review, and you can write what were your wins for today and how can you improve tomorrow. Now, the 5-minute planner also has those things, so I have a tendency to skip that in this planner, and I just do them with my husband in our 5-minute planner. It's just easier that way, and because I don't need to remember any of that through my day, I don't bring it forward. I do for my morning review, but I do not do it for the PM review. The only other thing that I use rather religiously in my planning process, it's not really planning, it's just a way to organize my thoughts, because I am somebody whose mind is always racing. I've always got thoughts, I've always got ideas, I've always got things popping in my head saying, oh my gosh, that'd be so great if. So I keep with me a paper planner. It's basically just like I don't know what you call them. We all use them in school. This one happens to be glittery. I know you probably can't see that on camera, but it's a glittery book. It makes me feel happy just having it with me. But basically I write all of my ideas, things that pop in my head. Sometimes if I'm out in the world and I see something that I think, ooh, I can make that, I'll just jot down a quick sketch to get the gist of the thing I was seeing so that I can remember it in the future. I call it my playbook. And it's basically the book that has all of my juicy ideas in it. It has ideas for videos, it has inspirational quotes, it has different things that I need to, like, maybe I have tasks that I have forgotten that I need to do. I will write them down here. I do not carry my Panda planner with me. I do carry this with me everywhere. My Panda planner will generally stay home. I keep it open on my desk at all times so that I can see it. But I find that if I keep this with me, I get to be a little bit too obsessed with making sure everything is completed. I try to use my planner as kind of a way to trigger my subconscious to remember that I need to get these things done. But this, I will keep with me. This, I will like jot down grocery lists, and I will jot down things I need to pick up at the hardware store, or things I have to pick up at the craft store, or maybe conversations that I've had with people that I need to make note of so I don't have to remember in my brain. God knows I would never get anything done if I had to rely on my brain to get all of this remembered. I think planning is so essential to getting what you want done and realizing that you're not just busy for the sake of being busy, but you're actually busy in a purposeful, meaningful way, so that way you can like create the life that you dream of living. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please let me know down in the comment section down below. I'd be happy to help you in any way that I can. If you like this video, please thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. If I could, I would hug you all. We would be here all day, but it would be so worth it. Until tomorrow, I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.